doing. But I'm like, I'm not going to give you the satisfaction of going, why are you, I'm not going to ask. I know
why are you talking to me, owner?
I know what you're doing.
So.
But in the meantime, for the last couple of days, we've had this plan of tomorrow, noon-ish.
He did actually tell me. He said that he's had to spend a couple grand because of the water that was just building up on his roof because it
Shut the fuck up.
It wouldn't drain anywher. He said it for since last October the water hasn't drained.
All right.
So now there's a leak in the kitchen. He said there's a leak in the kitchen and he had to pay an asbestos guy to come in.
Okay.
It was a huge thing.
That's not necessary.
Found a family of raccoons the one morning.
That's upsetting and unnecessary.
And yep, exactly.
And egregious. I feel wronged. I feel slighted.
There was a protective varmint screen.
Attacked here.
There was a protective varmint screen inside the downspout.
Words like varmint, like that's not a word.
And the kicking damaged it, so now they have an infestation.
Kicking? Kicking? What?
No. The little kicks.
No. Yeah. What am I? Pele? Come on. Pele, greatest soccer star? Never mind.
Nope, don't know soccer. Sorry.
Anyway, so yeah, that happens, right, Don? Every once in a while, you kind of lose your shit, and you're like, I'm really sorry.
Yep. Yeah, but yeah.
So tell Phil that the story's over now.
Yeah, Phil can.
Yeah. Breathe easy.
He's feeling pretty good from the frozen fries, and now the story's over, so he can continue professing in peace.
Not tonight. Semi-hammered tonight. Did you see the text I sent you?
Yes. Yes,
okay.
I did.
Passing on your best wishes from Phil Anton.
Callie wanted to mention she constantly asks when she could stop by, but we always tell her, and then she never shows up.
No show, Callie. But
she said that she wants to know when she could stop by so she can tell the Zeke story. She's
when now? What?
I mean,
is she saying I'm on my way?
I doubt it.
Is she over to Aaron's?
I have no idea what's going on.
All right, well, you tell her to reach out to Cory. Cory knows the schedule of when we're doing our podcast.
So she says...
I told her.
She can book it through the normal...
yeah, she said, what's the date? And I heard you say Kevin will be there next. So is this like last time, Cory? Hold on, let me reference my screen.
My other screen? All right.
Stop fucking saying things on our feed, Callie. He's texting her.
All right, Cory, got a podcast to do here. Requires some talking.
Right next to my girlfriend. Stop texting me.
He's not texting me.
Well, she can go through the normal booking procedures of Schnozzcast Corporate. If she's interested. We're obviously Cory's sisters both welcome at any time. They just have to follow through. Something that Don Hicks has done.
She said, "You're funny." She goes, "And I live in Livonia, Bob."
Yeah, but you also know where I live, Callie. And you knew what time we were starting.
Ooh.
Callie. You wanted to be on the podcast, you would have reached out to us. Callie.
Burn.
Zing. Achoo.
Right. Luckily, I mean, thank God for automobiles, because I think Callie only has a covered wagon.
A Conestoga wagon over to the...
Oh.
All right, well, we're back to audio. Hey, listen, we're gonna keep going.
I think it's time for another shot.
It's not you.
Nick's camera died. Yes!
Okay,
I was
good.
like, we're still going. Yeah, it paused.
Oh my God!
Because last time that paused instantly.
I think I just felt a blood vessel burst.
You just gave our audience the best gift ever, because they actually got to see what happens after it dies, which they never get to see. All they see is like, and then it freezes and it's gone. But now they get to see Cory going, oh God, why?
I think Cory just released his bowels.
It did just get really hot down
We're
here.
like, it's okay, Cory. It's okay. Really, it's all right.
You know what's going to be a really fun game?
All right.
You know what's going to be a really fun
What's
game?
that?
Is a recording of that
noise.
And I'm just going to have it as my text tone and turn it on and just send various people messages during the show, right? Just watch his asshole just slam shut every time. So we're good. Woo. A little warm down here.
It's real warm down here. Oh.
All right.
Don's like, this is not at all as fun as I thought it would be.
Right.
Oh, it was going to be fun when I flipped the table.
I actually moved my chair back a little bit. It's right next to me.
Oh man! Anybody else got anything on in the notebooks there? I've got a couple more things, but
in the notebook. So
in the notebook.
Oh yeah. So for next week, I think we'll try next week, the next podcast.
If there is a next week.
So one of my officers had contacted me and said that that he knows that I like IPAs and different kinds of beers and microbrews and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he asked me if I had tried Dogfish Head, which you drink a lot. You drink it right now, aren't
you? No, that's it's American Beauty.
Yeah, Dogfish Head. So, but apparently they make a 120-minute IPA. So the bottle's very, very plain. It's just got like a cream-colored label, and it explains, how they make it briefly. But it also says there's no alcohol content on the bottle, but it encourages you to age it. It actually says ages well. So it said, if you'd like to drink it now or in 10 years, they said.
So you just put it in your fridge for as long as you can stand it?
Or fruit cellar or whatever it may be. And he's like, he had told me, like, the guy's very intense, but he told me, he's like, listen, Sarge, you gotta stay at home when you drink this. Put it in a small snifter. And I'm like, okay, you told me this like 5 times. What?
Close your eyes and throw your keys
right
across the lawn.
I'm like, what is going on? He said it's 18%. The beer is 18%. So I mean, imagine.
Sounds like drinking like whiskey on the rocks.
Yeah. I mean, or a beer bottle full of Fireball.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, you probably shouldn't be ready to like drive somewhere. But
right.
So when you age it, how do you age beer? Do you put it in the fruit cellar like you said, or is it?
Yeah, from what I heard, like a fruit cellar would be like the perfect temperature, not on its side, standing upright. But yeah, I think since the ABV is so high, it's almost like a wine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so I've yet to try it, and I've not seen it anywhere. I think they have a 60, 90, and this is a 120-minute IPA. So we'll pass it around. And
what is the significance of the 120-minute?
I don't know. I forget. It says it on the bottle. I'll have to do like more research on it. But
how it's brewed somehow.
I think so. In regards to how they introduce the hops and things like that. So,
okay.
But I'm interested. I know you're not big on IPAs, so.
No, but I can. There's a couple IPAs that I like. You've actually introduced me to, and I'm like, oh, I can get behind that. It's the more sour they get, the more they go toward like a Goes or something like that. It just gets to be too much for me.
I've never heard of a beer that's 18%. That's insane. I mean,
Final Absolution is close to that, I think.
Is it really?
I don't know if it's 18, but I think it's.
I know a lot of them are like 11 and things like that. To put in perspective, like Miller Lite is like 4.3.
The closer, like your Trappist ales, your Belgian ales,
and I think
those are always high.
I think typically it's usually like your very dark stouts, that have high gravity beers and things like that. But it should be interesting. We'll see. He even before I leave, make sure you just sip on it. Don't go anywhere. I'm like, okay. I'm okay.
Handcuff yourself to the couch first before you start.
But I mean, you have to put in perspective and be like,
find a safe place.
Let's take a
find a safe place.
Let's take a pint.
I've duct taped my mouth.
So imagine how absurd it would be if you took like a pint, like a small snifter, and just poured an entire pint of, Fireball, and you were just like sipping on it. I mean, like that's.
I knew guys who did that. Yeah.
Names will not be said.
No, they will not.
Not me.
Not me.
Don doesn't do whiskeys.
Yes.
Oh, neither do I.
That's right. I forgot.
I can do Fireball because
I forgot that. That's fine. So if I offered you Fireball when we were doing a shot and you didn't take it. If I had something else like a Scotch or something like that, would you have taken it?
Scotch.
I was going to say, I believe it's
Scotch.
Scotch whiskey.
Mr. Don Hicks is a vodka.
Rum
guy.
or a vodka, yeah. I might probably join you, but.
Okay, all right. I'm sure I've got some of that upstairs. I'll grab it before we do next round.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
And also the what are those, the White Claws that you have?
Yeah, but now I'm on to a different kind today.
So,
Different flavor, but it's still White Claw.
No, it's not.
I've actually tasted those before. Have you had the White Claws? So basically,
I got no idea what it is.
okay. So basically, they have a lot of different flavors, and to me, I honestly think that Tony says he likes it. Danielle loves it. I know a lot of people that like it now. It's basically vodka and like a flavored seltzer water, and that's and it's in a can, so you can buy it. So that's what when you initially got here, I know you just weren't feeling it, but I think if there were anything that you could buy at the store, aside from actually mixing a drink, that would probably be the closest to something you would like, I think. But yeah, the White Claw, they have all different. What kind of flavors do you normally have?
The typical ones are raspberry, lime, grapefruit, and black cherry. I usually drink black cherry.
It honestly, Donna, when I tasted it, it was because I was like, this is some kind of girl's drink, and I actually tasted it one day, and it tasted like pretty much like tonic or seltzer water and like a flavored vodka. It was very light. It tasted kind of refreshing, so I was like, this probably wouldn't be bad.
He looks sold to me.
His eyes just turned into hearts.
Now, if I wanted to get you more some vodka for a shot, would you just do a shot, or would it need to be chilled?
Oh, chilled.
Chilled would be better, but I mean...
But you do a shot of vodka?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don also accepts just ice cubes in his shot glass. Like, because he knows, like...
I'm not going to fit an ice cube in a shot glass.
No, he will not those ones. Tink, tink, tink. Oh, man.
It's the hipster way that I live around here. I grind my own coffee, and I have to chip off my own ice cubes.
Chip some off the side of the freezer.
Right out of the ice box.
Yeah, the ice box.
But yeah, I know he's...
See, people don't say ice box enough.
We just talked about that the other day.
Honeymooners, absolutely.
You want to bring ice box back.
Ice box needs to come back.
I remember Don told me, he's like, yep, sometimes some of these bartenders don't like to chill the shots, so I just ask for a side ice. And he puts it right into a shot
I can do that, Don. I got you covered.
Which I agree with. Drinks should be cold, food should be hot. I mean, that's just the way I am.
But certain shots, though, like, you don't, like...
Yeah,
Fireball needs to be chilled. Needs to be chilled for the shot.
Agreed.
But I would not chill a shot of Jameson.
I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Yeah.
If like Jameson was in like the fridge or the freezer or something like that, that's fine. I don't like watered down Jameson, but yeah. And it doesn't matter. Jameson's one of the few things I can do warm and be fine with it. I'm like, yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I can do Irish whiskey, but any like bourbons and anything else, nope. Nope.
Cory, there's one thing that I had on my list that I'm sure you had on yours that we wanted to talk about tonight.
Good old Mark Forward.
So there's two things.
Okay, there's two things.
Ooh, hold on. What did Susan say? Dogfish Head beer, courtesy of Rehoboth Beach, Maryland.
Yep, she took me to the brewery.
Rehoboth.
Yeah, I think it is Rehoboth.
It looked kind of like rhubarb to me. So you guys are lucky.
It's actually a cool little like oceanside town with like a main street that kind of runs directly from the ocean down this way, and there's a Dogfish Head brewery and then a store right next to it that it was really nice and super nice bartenders serving up all their beers there.
We should all plan a trip to go visit Susan one time.
She would love it.
Yep. Crab it out. We are here to sample the best crab you have.
Oh, hey guys, out of the way. We're here to crab it out.
Excuse me, physician's assistant. Get out of my way.
Is that recent? Is she awake now?
This is she just said. Yeah.
Well, she must have taken a brief nap.
As you do.
I guess you do.
Sometimes on St. Patrick's Day.
Sometimes right before the podcast. Wake up at 8:15.
God, I forgot about that. Click.
I did. I literally I opened my eyes. I'm like 8:15. Gotta run to the store.
Well,
and then I ran into Cory.
We're pulling up to the store, and I'm like, pretty sure that's Bob.
Yeah. Well, we don't live in a one-horse town, so what store are you guys talking?
There's two horses. To be fair. All right. So, Mark, why don't you start? Yeah, Mark Forward. There's another one though. Mark Forward, and I'm gonna go grab Don some ice for a vodka.
All right. So, Bob and I watched one of the Mark Forward specials.
Standouts.
He's a coach
and
from
that's-
Letterkenny
yeah,
that
same-
you got to like.
Oh, I'm aware.
All
I
right.
speak with him on Twitter.
I also watched it.
Well, yes, you watched it as well. Sorry, but
Just leave me on. I see how it is.
yeah, it's on. What was it? You have Amazon Prime, right?
Amazon, yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually a silver member.
Oh, not platinum yet.
Platinum?
Is
Son of
there
a bitch.
silver?
I'm part of the Diamond Alliance.
Frequent flyer on Amazon Prime. But no, it was absolutely hilarious. And
Was it?
dude, his jokes, they're not. I mean, he does some like one-line stuff, but a lot of it is this drawn-out story that keeps on going and going. And he even makes fun of it at one point. He's like, I bet you guys thought this joke was over. Well, it's not. And goes for like another 15 minutes on the topic. And I don't want to give too big of a spoiler, but like
I want to watch it.
the one is about, it's a whole spiel on feeding chipmunks in the woods. And he goes on for like a solid 20 minutes about feeding chipmunks in the woods. And
Oh, you sold me.
and it literally all just comes full circle at the end.
Really?
And
Yeah.
it's absolutely,
really funny.
absolutely hilarious.
That's awesome.
And like his personality on stage is, Don, did you watch any of the Letterkenny shows with us?
Not sure.
You might have been there for one or two. I don't know if you've been there for many of them.
You may have seen it, just not realize what it is.
Yeah. But yeah, his personality, like he's a hockey coach in the show Letterkenny, and he's very, very intense. And so one thing he'll get pissed, and he'll be like, "Oh, it's fucking embarrassing," and usually kick a garbage can following that.
Every episode.
So
yeah.
how he acts on the show, like I just thought it was kind of like obviously you're acting. That's just his stand up is basically the exact same way, like that you can tell that's his like actual personality. So yeah, it's it definitely a must watch.
Worth it?
Oh, and I think it's only like 40 minutes or something like that.
Yeah,
it
it
wasn't like
very long.
So half of it is about chipmunks in the woods?
basically half the show is a joke about chipmunks in the woods.
That's awesome.
And then I got to see how he's got a new stand up coming out. I don't know what it's going to be streaming on. I know they're going to have it on Crave TV, but that's Canadians Hulu.
Geese.
Is there an app for that?
Goddamn Canadian geese. They might have an app.
They might.
What was the Letterkenny Canadian Goose episode?
On the golf course,
Yeah.
where Coach was trying to get rid of all the Canadian geese from the golf course.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're pooping.
I'm trying to remember some of the lines that Wayne had, because he had some real good lines.
Yeah,
in
you
that one.
did.
I think because a lot of it was, and you better let that marinate.
So we're gonna have to do a What's on Bob's Shelf after Bob comes back down.
I know, I was kind of scoping it out.
Well, you can't.
I think I
Can't
should get
ruin
up
the
and look.
surprise.
I know.
Don't pick the brown box because that's my microphone that I never got to use. Unfortunately. You know, I actually think that maybe not tonight, but a different night, Don. That everybody should hear some of the steel and horse stories that you told me last night, because I thought that was a pretty cool story. You know what I'm talking about?
Stealing horses. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Remember what I'm talking about? He's like, who are you sitting in front of me right now? Where am I? What are these funny things on my ears?
I was thinking, RD2. So
That's what so we're talking like real life horses.
yeah.
Yeah, not.
Oh boy.
Well,
I don't know which one. So, but I have both. I don't know if are you a gin guy at all?
Yeah, I'll take the captain.
Okay.
Oh, Captain, my Captain. Yeah, Don, I was saying that, either tonight or a different night that Don can tell some of the stories from his youth when some of his involvements in actually riding horses that he told me last night that were pretty funny.
Danielle, since you're in there, can you grab me one too?
Oh, while you're in there.
Right.
Impeccable timing.
Not an ocean spray.
It was in your six pack.
What?
Is there a reason why there's ocean spray down here?
Isn't it an
Left over
Angie's?
from Angie.
It's grapefruit juice. You want it?
Is my salsa still in there?
White
Probably,
grapefruit juice.
Probably.
It's taking up valuable real estate, Danielle. You can just put it on top of the fridge.
So
Your salsa is in there.
we'll pull it out. We can just put it on top of the fridge and we'll throw it away when we're done.
Yep.
Probably should have been done last week anyway. We're probably several weeks.
I was going to say it might be a little past due.
Phil Anton wanted to say, "Oh, Bob is gone. God's be praised."
May 11th,
Of 2018.
19.
The gases have started to buckle the top.
Did you say you wanted to hear?
Yes, please.
So, sorry, did you finish the mark forward?
Yeah, we discussed it and
Okay.
9 minutes ago.
explained to him the.
This is your last
Oh,
one.
the
Whoa!
I told him not to give too much away, but he does some jokes that are very.
oh my God.
Very
it was,
long.
It was really good. It was really.
I said, but he even makes fun of it himself, and he's like, "Oh, I bet she thought this joke was over." It's not.
It's not. So the other thing I had on my list, which I don't know how you can't not have it on your list. Curious Creations with Christine McConnell.
Oh yes! Oh God, that show.
Yeah, you have to. I'm surprised it wasn't your pick of the week.
Dude,
Well,
know
you
what?
did have a couple sacks of reg rolls,
Yes,
but
yes.
I would have said, fellas, I got 2 picks of the week for you.
You know what? I don't know how that slipped my mind.
Oh my God. you gotta set the stage here too.
I don't know.
How did you run across the show? This is a Netflix show.
Well, Angie had
Right.
Angie and what's it? Is it Mike, the guy with the longer hair that used to always hit on Nancy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunate
yes.
Mike.
Yeah, that was a weird situation. But so I came in. It was him and Angie sitting there watching this show that apparently he stumbled across on Netflix. It was called The Curious Creations of
Christine McConnell.
Christine McConnell. And the best way to put it was a mixture between the Addams Family and the Muppets.
Yeah, but if
What?
if Morticia was a former BDSM model, and this was on Showtime late night.
Jesus.
It's real
like
it's,
USA Up All Night.
No, worse than that.
It's real
And when I say worse, I mean better.
she's like a creepy housewife kind of look.
But not creepy.
It's creepy. Just like you really have to see it to understand why I say creepy. But I mean, she's a very, very attractive female that does all these like weird cooking thing, like baking and all that. But there's these creatures that are in the kitchen with her.
I think I'm sold.
That are like puppets?
Yes.
Yeah, my attention.
Baking and creatures.
Yeah, these elaborate.
Are you guys talking about Fraggle Rock?
No.
Okay.
It'd be like if Fraggle Rock was hosted by Angelina Jolie back in her day, in a skimpy 2-piece, making ornate gingerbread houses that would take you literally 17 hours to make.
What's it called again?
Curious Creations with Christine McConnell.
And so
I just didn't know what to make of the show. The more it went on, the more I'm like, what is happening here? Is she trying to like use the food as a turn on for the audience, letting us know what's coming next? And like she would have like a gentleman caller coming over for dinner who would sit at the table and they'd like trade back and forth like sexual innuendo with these puppets, and the puppets would be participating in the sexual back and forth.
So to put it in perspective, like the one puppet is a hybrid of a roadkill raccoon
Oh, I see it.
with like a skunk's tail and
Like
a fork for a hand.
Yeah, like a bent-tined fork for a hand.
And apparently and I missed the very first episode, but apparently she put this animal together herself. And there's like a big werewolf, and yes, that is the animal.
Yeah, exactly.
So everything's like real kind of like Halloweeny and dark about the show.
Right.
And so I was just like, because you watch her, like you see her show down a picture of her.
Of her?
Yeah.
She's got serious resting bitch face.
Yeah,
But
but
so-
she's not all resting bitch face.
So,
All the pictures she is.
so like she doesn't appear to be like creepy
No.
in that.
Like,
but when she
She does have kind of like like a B-list porno actress air about her delivery of the lines in the show?
And but
Did I state
You're
that
really,
well, Don?
You're really
Don's like,
sucking me
yeah, I
in
can
here,
identify.
guys.
I think I could picture
Puppets.
exactly who you're talking about right now.
Puppets, cooking,
B-list porn.
B-list
Yeah.
porn.
Yeah.
but
Yep,
so in,
I'm on board.
but so in in researching her during this show because I was so intrigued.
Right.
Apparently that is her that's her actual persona. Like she loves dark, creepy things.
Okay.
And she basically made the show from scratch herself and pitched it to Netflix. And they're like, yeah, this is amazing. And it's like everything in the house is like 1800s vintage furniture. And
yeah.
she basically, she's like, I walked on the set and I started crying. She's like, 'cause that was like, that was the house I wanted to live in. And so like, apparently she one year like put a ton of money into her parents' house in LA to do like a whole Halloween setup for their house. And like, so yeah, her actual personality is very,
Kind
very
of like a
dark.
not as
and,
dark Elvira. More like if Elvira was on like General Hospital.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Don's like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Keep talking, big boy.
So yeah, it's a very, very weird
So
show,
I think
it draws you right in.
one of the scenes that I watched was a pretty good like overall, like this tells you what the show's about. Even though while I was watching, I'm like, what is happening here? So she's sitting at a table, right, with a Ouija board, and it's her and her puppets, and they're all cracking wise, and it's not like Sesame Street cracking wise. There's a little bit of bite to what they're saying, where you're not sure, like, okay, this is Netflix. Are these puppets going to be dropping the F-bomb? I don't know what's coming, but I feel like that's where they're heading. So she's doing the Ouija board, and all of a sudden one of them takes like she figures out what it's going to say, and she gets that reading, and then somebody like smashes it. I think it might have been the raccoon, smash it with this like fork tiny hammer,
Yeah.
and the thing like breaks apart. They all start eating it, and I'm like, what? What is happening? And then she's like, perhaps you'd like me to show you how I made that Ouija board. And then she goes on the whole rest of the show, like the next 20 minutes is her in great detail describing how she baked the Ouija board and how
she used candy glass to cover the top of it.
The most ornate, she gets done, you're like, how many dozens of hours did it take you to do that?
Like she hand scripted all the letters onto this shortbread with like black food paint
to make it look like it was an old piece of wood, like an old Ouija board. Like
That's
the lengths that she went to. And so, and all the while she's doing it with like a blouse that's like, unbuttoned down to here, and she's got her ruby red lipstick and the
Scantily clad.
Yes, but not scantily, like there's nothing falling out. Do you know what I mean? Like, but the vibes of the show was I
intimately know what you mean.
I kept expecting for like, oh, did one of my breasts just fall out? Let me just put that back in. I'll continue showing you how I made the Ouija board. Like that's the vibe that you get, but it never happened. So I'm like, I don't get where this show is going. What crowd are you going for here?
Right.
Who is the target audience here?
Sweet evil succubus.
Somehow she's obviously found a way to bring over the tweens, the YA young adult crowd, all the way through to the older folks who are waiting for that titty to fall out, but it never quite does. And I got them all. She's got them all. I don't know how well the show's doing on Netflix, but I was like, wow.
It was very, very interesting. I completely forgot about that one.
It's hard to forget about that show.
Kristen wanted to add that she loves morels, and she wanted to know where to get the Asian corned beef. But Cajun would be fantastic too.
Cajun corned beef?
Cajun corned beef.
Yeah. Yeah, Cajun.
They gotta go down to Hamtramck, right? Or to Lefty's Cheesesteaks in East Newport.
Corey's not tilting his hand. 3 places. That's his answer. 3 places in the hood.
Well, there's a thing called Google that you can just type in Asian corned beef and it'll tell you 3
it's
different
not
places.
a secret, right?
Did we all give our take on the Asian corned beef? Is that when the disaster struck?
Many times. We did a couple times. Yeah.
No, okay, we didn't say which we liked better or anything like that.
I feel like we did. We could do it again. Let's keep doing it.
No, because I think when we were about to start, that's when we heard beep beep beep. But which of the two?
Oh,
you like
that's what happened. The rest of us did, and you guys just like went into a panic, and Cory jumped up and we're like, "Oh, the thing is down."
So which of the two you like better?
I'm going for for Asian corned beef. I like the steak and cheese. For
Interesting.
lefties, I like the corned beef.
What does that mean?
That's the other place that's in
East
Dearborn.
Dearborn that also does egg rolls. These same types of egg
okay.
rolls. So
How about you, Don, of the two?
I concur. The
steak.
steak and beef.
Really?
Yeah.
How
I
about
like
you,
the steak better too.
Corey?
Oh, always the steak.
Are you serious?
She doesn't
So
like
you're
I'm
corned
not,
beef.
I'm not a
corned
corned
beef
beef fan.
Really? No corn. Really?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the corned beef and Swiss one.
I mean, I like the corned beef and Swiss one, but I like the beef.
The other one just tastes
better.
like hamburger to me. I'm like, it just tasted like,
All right.
but that
That's
was really good.
They do deli sandwiches too, like big I guess I talked about like Maddie's Deli.
Yeah.
The big sandwiches on like
Right.
toasted onion rolls and all that. And as you saw,
Do they have a big salad?
I'm not paying for the big salad thing.
Couldn't you just take 2 smaller salads and put it in a big bowl?
Yeah, that would be right. That would be the adult thing to do,
If they had big bowls.
but they don't.
I can't get past the laugh track.
That's true.
I know it's a.
He has said that
Oh, he said it several
many
times.
times. Well, you try to get people on board with the show that you like. and
Sure.
It's annoying.
It's one of the most popular shows ever.
The OA.
Yeah, we've all had that bad experience.
Definitely no laugh tracks in the background of the OA. That's for sure.
All right.
Use it.
So I want everybody to get. Does everybody have a notebook and a pen?
No.
All right, I have an extra notebook here. I'll give you.
Negative.
If we've gotten to the point where we're starting to draw on air.
No.
we can
This
just
is
end it right now.
we're addressing the contest, sir. That's for you.
Holy no.
Find yourself a blank page.
Or a feather and some ink.
Might want to skip. There's a bookmark at the top.
To Jack on your first communion.
Okay, I found a blank page.
All right.
God bless.
All right. So we're gonna go through the responses right now for this is responses to date to the contest. So I want everybody to start making some columns with some names, and you're gonna sort of make your little notations there, which keep to yourself as far as your reaction to the question. Because what we need to do eventually here is, as a group, determine who's going to be the winner. We're not going to do it here. We're just going to go through. Here's what we've got so far.
Are we just reading the questions?
Just going to read the question.
Just the questions.
Yeah.
Not who they're from.
We'll go who they're from.
Not at this point.
Why
I don't
not?
think. Because that might influence
Who would it influence?
someone you know, maybe. I know who did
Well, that's
that.
why
you know
we're
what I
all
mean?
doing this together.
Right. So what I'm
Yeah.
saying is if you know someone, you might have a stronger opinion about the question as opposed to the question itself.
No, I think I'm capable of being objective.
Okay.
I'd rather not give it to. I don't want to give it to anybody in favor. I'm literally looking at the question, like, what's the best question?
Gotcha.
So, and I do want people to have the notion that the fact that you actually emailed us, I'm not gonna, for me to not read your name, the fact that you did is kind of, I'm not setting a good precedent for really trying to get people to email us.
Right.
Because some people want their names mentioned.
3 viewers we have need to know.
Exactly. So first one we got, make a column here for Gregory Bader.
Oh, that is.
Fine gentleman.
Is it senior or junior?
It is a senior, sir.
All right.
Gregory D. Bader Sr. And Gregory says, you know what we need? We need
Oh God.
we need a quick, like a mailbag sound.
What is?
You need mail time.
That's Corey's department, isn't it?
Do you have a?
No, I've been
It's not your department?
Since when's that?
Yeah. Wasn't there a mail song?
Yeah, from Blue's Clues.
Yeah. So how did it go?
I don't remember.
Don't put me
Come
on the
on,
spot.
Corey.
Oh, he knows because he used to go off
come
on his
on.
phone all
He
the time.
used to sing it a lot. He sang it on the air before too.
Corey.
I don't know the words to it, so.
Full of shit.
Huh?
Don't recall the song.
Come on, Corey.
So what Greg Bader say?
I don't know. I really can't start
Hold
without
on.
the song.
Hold on.
All right, well then I guess I was.
Hold on.
You taking your headphones off?
Might as well get another drink while I'm waiting on you guys to continue.
Jesus. Here. Thanks, Nick. Thank you, sir.
All right, you got it.
You've sang that before.
Yeah, you
All
have.
of a sudden now you're Mr. Shy.
I don't
Yeah.
remember when I sang that.
Yeah. we
Bob.
can go back to the tape.
Bob.
Episodes 20, 18, 16, 14, and 12.
What you need to do is
Yeah.
you need to clip that and make some drops.
Dude.
And when we want to hear it, we press the button.
On
Why are
what?
you so shy, Cory? Sing the male song, Cory.
Right. All right. So Greg Bader writes in. It says, "I would like the Schnozzcast team to weigh in and discuss my question. Weigh in on and discuss my question, which is, what is the meaning of life? I am requesting that each member be part of this discussion and further ask that you explore all aspects of my question. Thanks in advance, and I look forward to learning from each of you in this conversation." Gregory D. Bader Sr. This is like it's like you sent something to Congress going, I'm
Which he's
requesting
done
the
before.
documents.
He's done before.
So
I
do
want
we
the
want to
original
actually
Constitution.
take so you guys go ahead and make a note, your thoughts. We don't need to share them. We'll review them later offline. Do we want to actually take maybe like a few minutes to actually address this question online?
I mean, if we can't do the male song, we can't do the meaning of life. We can't be impromptu like that, but you can take a stab at it, Bob.
What do you think?
You can take a stab at it.
You just talking about right now?
Look at he just
Yeah,
think.
No,
so,
negative. Wait,
so we're
wait,
not
wait.
answering questions. We're just reviewing what the questions are.
No.
Yeah, because we should have some prep time to think about things.
Okay, well, fellas, I feel like that means like when we get together again, which should be next Friday, right? Is it Friday or Saturday?
Saturday.
Mhm.
Next Saturday. We should probably have some prepared answers to some of these questions.
Well, that's why we're doing this right now.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. As long as the audience understands where we're going with this. Okay, so we're just reading out the questions. All right. Next, make a column.
Sorry.
Jesus. Are you okay?
No, my stupid headphones keep going in and out.
You with us, Danielle?
No, I'm good now.
Do you need more duct tape?
I think it's the duct tape is wearing.
Duct
It's
tape's
wearing off.
It's what holds this whole podcast together. Is that duct tape?
Mm.
All right, make a column for Phil Anton. Phil actually wrote me a couple of times, but basically, I'm gonna say
You might want to edit it.
no. He said, yeah, I have a lot of questions. Number one, how dare you? That's the question.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now, I never got numbers 2 through whatever, but that's the one I got.
The end.
That's the end.
All right.
All right.
Phil was drinking. Okay.
Oh, hold on. To be fair, let me go back through.
To be fair.
fair.
I replied and I said, awaiting the rest, ... as you do. And he did reply saying, and Nick, I'm sure you appreciate this. Not till you answer the first question, Ryan Howard. Sincerely, Kelly Kapoor. P.S. I'm pregnant.
Does it have a timestamp as to when you replied with that?
Yes. He sent his at
3:15 a.m.
He sent his at 1:44 a.m. on Wednesday. I sent my reply at 5:31 a.m.
Oh my god.
He sent his reply back at 2:50 p.m. the next day.
No, he was tanked.
2:50 p.m.
No, I'm saying the original.
Yeah, and,
could be.
so was Bob.
Oh.
At 5:30.
There wasn't any Sunday
I'm sure I
morning
just
vinyl going
left
on at
your house.
5:15 a.m.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I got an
email from Phil Anton.
All right, let's make a column here for Kevin Cromwell. Kevin writes into the Schnozzcast, what is the most embarrassing sex act that you were caught in and had to explain yourself out? That's verbatim. Example, ... My neighbor's brother, who is 39, was caught in a drunk stupor getting a BJ from my other neighbor, who is close to 70, on the porch outside.
Jesus.
In case you need some context for why he was asking that.
He gave the example as well.
That was, yeah.
Oh, good
that's
job,
an
Kevin.
example, yeah.
Good job.
Now, Kevin did send a separate email. Question of the day number 2. This would qualify as another question for consideration. Do y'all believe in extraterrestrial life?
Very existential, like Gregory Bader.
Yep, except for the y'all. But yeah,
You wanted to let us know that he's a
a
normal guy.
a man of the people.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I'm sending them a really deep question here. Let me just make sure that this doesn't go over their heads, as dumb as they are. Something I'm going to yawl it up a little bit. All right. I want you to make another column here. We got 2 more.
From?
This next column is for Gretchen.
Oh, I'm like, please don't say Kevin Brown.
No, he sent in 2.
Right, okay.
I gave you both.
Gretchen.
No, hold on. I didn't say Gretchen Wilson.
I did.
No, you motherfucker. Sending my question.
Are you a redneck woman?
Sending my question. Can I have a sticker?
Okay, that's her question.
Laughing face. Gretchen. That's a legitimate question.
She can.
Hold on, we're not answering these questions today. Cory said we're doing that next Saturday.
Okay, so.
All right, we got one more.
All
We have one more column to make from Danielle Hartig.
Oh.
Writes in, are you ready, fellas? You might want to flip over to another page.
We're going a little fast here, Bob.
I'll slow down.
I'm running out of ink.
This is going to take a while.
From Kevin's. Oh, man. Danielle. Come on.
I'm telling you.
Oh, my. She did not write all that.
Hey, fellas. I'm going to go all out in this assignment. I'm compiling a list, what I consider entertaining. Would you rather questions? You can each answer all of them, or you can deflect to one another based on who you think should answer a particular question.
Goodness gracious.
Bob, so what we're going to need, just to
A
save
lot of booze.
I just saw,
a lot of booze.
But I saw that scrolling.
Yeah.
If you could just, after you read this, forward us, like maybe
Sorry.
I'm
copy
going to
and
send
paste.
you this one.
Copy and paste,
Yeah.
because that's too much.
Yeah. I'll do that.
She doing too much.
How Danielle feel? I look forward to hear your answers. Embarrassed face with the red cheeks, I guess. I don't know what that emoji is. Okay. Kids today, I'll tell you. All right, here it goes.
What time was this sent?
Oh, 11:23 p.m.
Okay.
So, she was wasted.
She's a mom.
She's drunk.
That's late for a mom.
Drunk on breast milk.
Burr.
Okay, so I'm going to go through. You don't have to write all these down. I'm going to send these to you. Okay, just so you know what she said. Here goes. Number 1. Would you rather lose your hearing or your sense of taste? Number 2. Would you rather be insanely rich or insanely smart? Why is it either or? Number 3. Would you rather eat pizza every single day or never again for the rest of your life? You can stop me right now if these are the same kind of games that every time you see her that she has the same questions.
no.
Okay.
Oh, speaking of the devil, guess who just came on?
Oh, alrighty.
I just tagged her.
Oh, did you?
Wow, that was quick. Look at that.
Her ears must have been burning.
That was very, very quick.
Oh my, look at.
No,
Tag on.
I gotcha.
Jesus.
Number 4.
So Danielle, just in case you don't know if you can actually hear what's going on, we're reading off your questions, and we're going to decide next week.
Look, if she's a super fan like that, I assume she's going to be downloading the podcast via iTunes, and she'll be listening to it. She's going to hear the whole thing.
Of course.
Number 4. Would you rather be married to someone who is extremely attractive or be someone who is extremely attractive? Interesting.
I don't care if I'm attractive. Right.
I think we're gonna mark that one answered. Number 5. Would you rather have a foot-long nose or a foot-long tongue? Number 6. We all contemplate that one. Would you rather have the ability to make anyone fall in love with or the ability to read minds? You, I assume.
So the power to make anybody fall in love with you or read
to read
minds.
somebody's mind, yeah.
Interesting.
I think you probably get either one, right? Because you read their mind, you just want to read the one for the person who's like, damn, and then you know.
What would they say?
Damn.
Oh.
Yeah.
They're
digging
They're
you.
African
They're
American.
I don't see in color, so. They're digging you. They really like you.
Do you hear in color?
I only feel in black.
Okay. All right.
Moving
Number
on.
7. Would you rather look young and feel like an old person, or look old and feel like a young person?
I think Bob will have to answer that.
Number 8.
Bob says Don.
Number 8. Would you rather time travel to the year 1600 or the year 3000? Don, your thoughts?
I didn't understand it.
Would you rather time travel back to the year 1600
Oh, okay.
or time travel forward to the year 3000?
I probably want to go back.
That's right. I
Yeah.
knew Don was going to answer that.
Play some Red Dead Redemption 2 in real life.
Right.
Run over those dogs. Number 9, would you rather eat chocolate that tasted like shit or eat shit that tasted like chocolate?
Well, duh. Come on.
Cory's
All right.
always cleaning up after the dogs in the backyard.
I mean,
Number 10, would you rather be the funniest person
Mustard.
alive or the most intelligent?
Well,
Danielle?
what if you're both?
No, you can't be both. That's the point.
You're in your damn water running. I'd rather be funny.
Yeah?
Mhm.
Okay. Does that mean you're dumb then?
I don't know. Well, it doesn't say. Could be
I don't understand the
mildly
question.
intelligent.
Oh, that's so funny of you. Number 11, would you rather have extra fingers or extra toes? Cory?
God damn it.
neither.
It's not a choice.
You can't do that.
Gotta
Neither?
pick.
Toes can be hidden.
I was gonna
That's
say,
what I was thinking,
so
too.
You can cover
You
your
can
toes
hide your
up
Also wear
toes.
gloves.
You can't wear
with
gloves
extra
24
fingers.
No, just one. No, the last one is one big finger for you and the numbers 5 and 6.
Cory.
It's one big finger. Then.
Cory always has.
This is pretty easy, Cory. I'm not sure why you wouldn't.
I don't understand that Cory always shows up in black silk evening gown gloves anywhere he goes. Hey
I didn't
guys.
say evening gown gloves.
Hey guys.
Number 12. Would you rather live in an amusement park or a zoo?
Live in?
Yeah.
Like, would we be like an
One
exhibit?
with the animal.
Are we an exhibit?
Am I a roller coaster?
I don't know. It just says, would you rather? Ask her to clarify. This is a very vague question.
Well, I feel like on Seinfeld he said, would you rather, if you had to go to another planet, you're captured by aliens, would you rather be a part of their circus or a part of their zoo? And George had said, probably a part of the zoo. And Jerry's like, why? You're part of the circus, you travel, you get to see the whole planet. And George said, yeah, but part of the zoo, maybe they'll put me with a female. Hope I procreate.
That's right. I remember that. Yep. Hard to argue with
And
that.
he said, yeah, well, what if she's not into you? And he said that
Oh.
I'm pretty much where I am right now.
Oh, she won't be. Number 13. Would you rather have a head the size of a grapefruit or a watermelon? I assume she means skull. Thanks, Don. You give her some. There you go.
I feel like as we're going down the list here, she's reaching more and more.
That's fair. She didn't say we couldn't judge these questions.
That is true.
Did she say we could judge her?
Well, I would think we are. With every question.
All right.
Uh,
Good questions.
All right, so we'll skip past that one. Number 14, would you rather be without elbows or without knees?
Oh, elbows for sure.
That was quick.
How am I going to walk?
Very stiff-legged.
How are you gonna move your arms? You have no elbows.
Walk.
No, it would be like this noodly look,
There's nothing that can be a noodle.
No, you're just an arm. You're just
It would
like
be
a
It's just straight.
from,
It's bones.
bone from
Like
shoulder
this.
to
Yes.
wrist. Bone from shoulder to wrist.
You
That's
said
it.
that your bones are gone.
I'm the
Just your
best
elbow.
cheerleader ever.
So then you couldn't drink it anymore.
Just
You're
think
like,
of how
I
you
can't.
have to drink a shot.
Right.
Oh, I'd get an apparatus.
An apparatus.
A very long straw.
Make it happen.
Whatchamacallit?
Yep.
Think about that. All right, last one. Would you rather wear a snowsuit in the desert or be naked in Antarctica? Don?
I'd have to go with the desert because I don't like being cold.
Okay. Well, that's a
What
good
do
answer.
you think?
I'd probably go with that too. No. Yeah, I'd go with that too.
Is that your final answer?
I'd definitely go with this snowsuit in the desert because you can always just take it off. You can't add stuff when you're naked.
It's true. It
Yeah, I mean,
doesn't
it's-
say you can't take it off in this question.
Yeah, but it's true.
You're gonna burn your schmeckel then.
That's when you take one of the pant legs. Yes, a
Cory.
pant leg would be needed.
Cory, it's us. So a sleeve.
Sleeve. A schmeckle sleeve.
A little wrist sleeve. Cut it in fourths.
Fourths. Get your sewing kit out.
Right.
A little bit of darning.
Yeah, no, I think I would rather be way too hot and die of that than in the cold.
Freeze to death.
That would be horrible.
Frostbite.
Freezing to death would be absolutely horrible. But
I
parallel.
think they'd both be horrible.
Yeah, but I could just sweat my way to sleep in a snowsuit.
I think that's what happens when you freeze to death. You just go to sleep.
Yeah, but you're fucking bone-chilling cold, and there's nothing. I mean,
But you lose feeling,
do you?
right? Yeah. You lose feeling in the extremities, yeah.
No, I couldn't do it. But it would remind me of another question. Would you rather be lost, like, on top of
Old smoke.
Mount Everest,
Covered with cheese.
or shipwrecked in the middle of the ocean?
Oh. Well, Mount Everest is more of the cold. So I think I'd rather do that than drown.
So,
I can't imagine drowning.
like, let's say the Bermuda Triangle, where
Yeah.
it's 80 degrees, but your ship went down and you're in a boat, like a little small dinghy.
Shark infested waters.
Sure.
I would do
No,
that.
no water, no food.
I would do that way before Mount Everest.
Salt water.
Me too.
Nope.
Oh no.
I do Mount Everest.
Mount Everest for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
One of my worst fears is being in the sea, like in the middle of the ocean, with sharks and God
Yeah,
knows
there's
what
something
below
about
me.
there's like no like
The unknown.
where it's water from horizon to horizon, and there's no one coming for you. Those
There's-
types of movies.
There's
have
no
always fascinated
saying
me,
you
but
won't
there's-
find land.
No, there's not.
No, that's the point. It's horrifying because there's no hope.
So this
At all.
is
Plus,
one.
there's monsters below you, and I don't like
and
that.
that too.
Mount Everest, at least.
And monsters.
Mount Everest, I could just fall asleep.
I mean, they're also monsters.
This, I might have a killer whale knock the boat and eat me.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
gonna get eaten up on
Yeah.
Mount Everest.
Yeah, I would like to be eaten bit by bit. Yeah, sorry.
So,
you were
so
gonna-
your biggest fear is being stuck out in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
How many times have you found yourself anywhere near out in the middle of the ocean?
No, it's. Have you ever seen?
Well, I went on an Alaskan cruise, and yeah, that was.
You ever seen that
so
movie?
once.
You ever seen that movie Open Water?
I've never seen it, but yes, I
You
know
know
I know
which one I'm talking
I
about?
know the premise.
Okay, so the premise, the whole premise
That's
scares the shit out of me.
that's much more believable to you're scuba diving and you get left
But
behind.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I'm not saying like, oh, all of a sudden I'm magically in a boat in the middle of the
No, that
North
would-
Atlantic.
that would suck ass.
There was a story of a naval ship that went down, and they were like, and for the life of me, I can't remember the exact occurrence or whatever, but I don't think it was because of battle. I think it was something else that occurred, and there were like 300 guys in the water, and they explained how over the next like 72 hours.
Are you talking about the Indianapolis?
I don't know, but I remember reading about it, and they said over the next
Sounds like it.
Sounds like the Jaws story from
Mhm.
Quint that Quint told. Oh, go ahead. It may be different. Totally. Go ahead.
yeah,
Sorry.
but the next several days, how people were hallucinating, and slowly but surely people just started going down, because they said on like day 3 or whatever it was, sharks started circling and things like that, and there were guys that were because they're so thirsty, they were drinking the salt water, so they would start hallucinating,
Right.
and they were like, oh hey man, I'm gonna go down in the brig and get some food, and they're like, what are you talking about? And they would swim down
Yeah.
and never come back up, and you would just see someone get tugged on, and then they would just be gone. I mean, that I cannot think of anything worse.
Yeah, I can't either. But I think that obviously, maybe there's a chance it's not the same story.
Yeah.
But what you're describing is very similar to the story that Quint tells the other two guys on the boat in Jaws.
Okay.
While they're hunting the shark, he tells a story about how he was in the Navy and he was on board in Indianapolis, and it was a sort of a story about how he became a shark hunter, how he became familiar with them, and it held like a morbid curiosity with him that, basically it's the same story. All the sailors went down, and then one by one the sharks started picking them off, and
Maybe, and I'm sure it's happened more than once in history, but
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's-
Maybe
maybe it was lent some literary license, but
Perhaps.
But yeah, I know it was a true story from Jaws, but it was actually a true story.
Well, Jen, they told the story in Jaws. This is actually a true story. They didn't make it up for the movie. He may have taken some creative license with some of the descriptions that he had, but he was referring to an actual incident that happened. That you could Google it.
Yep.
And it's terrifying.
And
They did make a movie out of
They
it on the Indianapolis.
they did. What was the name of the movie? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was the Indianapolis.
Was that the
fucking know that's what's coming.
I think
and
they-
I walked right into it.
I don't know how you didn't see that one.
I did. Well,
I think they called
it's Don.
I think
Don
they
just hoodwinked me.
I think they called it the Indianapolis 500.
No, they didn't.
No, but I do remember they said that when they finally got rescued, I don't know if there was like 12 guys left or
Mhm.
something like that,
Yeah.
and they went to pull them on the
Super
boat,
small number. Yeah.
and they were so waterlogged that one of the guys' arms got dislocated from being pulled up onto the
Oh,
boat,
Jesus,
from
really?
being so pruned and waterlogged. And I was like, oh my god. I mean,
But they were alive, you know. And
yeah,
Jesus, can you imagine?
can you imagine being pulled? I mean, grabbed and then drowning and being eaten? I mean,
No.
none of that.
I'm trying.
So Mount Everest.
Yeah, that's my answer. In the Antarctic.
So we're 113 in right now in the second part of the live video.
Yeah, so we were like we're like 226. But
So
it was at 49 minutes in that we stopped and we resumed at minute 10. So we were a good 20 minutes
Out.
out. Yeah.
So other issue being I'm about to run out of room on my SD card as well.
Okay,
So
well, we
if
can stop
the live video. I think we
Sure.
should do one more shot before we go.
Let's
right
do
there.
that. Let's
Sounds
do
good.
that. I know that Danielle probably doesn't want one, but
No.
you're gonna have to grab the fireball, which is in the fridge,
Mm,
unless you want to wait.
Seems like a ways away.
Corey's like, I think I hear her coming down the stairs.
That's actually what just went through my mind.
Corey goes like this. Look at Bob.
Thank you, Don.
Corey goes. He just
Talking shit.
like sort of like
yeah. He's like,
Huh?
I can't possibly
I'm
reach that.
manning the computer. I
Even
can't
though-
go over there.
I can't reach that.
So they said since you were gone, I was gonna have to grab the fireball, and I was like, well.
Corey,
Oh.
And I heard you come. I heard you coming back down the stairs.
yours and Nick's. Heard that.
Heard that.
Oh
Wow.
my gosh, that
Christ.
was loud.
I guess I'm glad you went upstairs.
I would have vibrated the table. Jesus.
Why was that so loud?
I don't. Well, there's a natural, acoustic
Echo.
curve.
To the stairwell.
I made enough bandwidth. I got lots of good acoustics, Corey.
It's about time. It's something good down here.
Thank you, man. I wonder if Susan Candella's seen the shirt you're wearing there, Danielle. Brett Eldridge shirt.
It is. From when we went to the
Fancy,
concert.
fancy.
Oh, the best concert ever.
Oh, yeah, I'll never forget.
It was hotter than a mofo in that place.
It was so
It was-
fucking hot.
It was so hot.
I literally thought this at one point, Corey. I'm like, thank God it's this hot. Because it's kind of masking how much I don't want to be here. Because everybody else also doesn't want to be here because it's so hot. Yeah.
I just remember I was so pissed that once I found it was like assigned seating in there, which
Yeah.
rarely happens at a concert unless you're like you get Pine Knob and you're down, close.
Right.
But I put my shoes on for some reason rather than wearing my flip flops. And by the time we left out of there, my feet were just drenched. I'm like, oh my god!
All the sweat from your head ran down your legs into your shoes.
Yes. I'm like, had I known it wasn't gonna be like a crazy. I think that's what I was worried about. Was like a crazy crowd, like us all like huddled together with other people, and
Right.
someone's stepping on your feet. So I'm like, I'll wear my shoes. And we get there. It's all assigned seating. Everyone's in a row. I'm like,
Yeah.
great. I'm sweating my ass off, and my feet are dripping with
It was
sweat.
basically like a high
Slam!
school auditorium feel.
Yeah.
Oh.
Jesus. All right.
You got too excited.
That's all right.
Too excited.
I'm like, oh, dental work.
I hit you in the mouth.
You're missing some teeth now.
That was close.
Punch him in the face.
Worse next
That was
time.
close, buddy.
Don't give me ice again. See what happens.
I gave him ice before.
It was all melted.
You know what happens to ice when it gets warm? It tends to melt.
turns into ice.
Achoo. All right, so
everyone.
Schnozzcast, before we bid you adieu for the
Adieu
evening,
for the night.
please gather your shots, gather your booze, your libation, and toast us.
A warm snifter.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Woo!
Smooth. Wee. So, I forgot that from last night.
I've
Oh,
been
we
waiting
forgot
on,
about
I've been
that.
waiting all night
Oh,
for
come
somebody
on,
to
now.
do it.
Woo! Did you do the
Wee!